We got news this week that there was another potential hurdle to the Browns' new stadium being knocked down. And while it's anything but settled, the Cleveland Browns and the Haslam family want to go full steam ahead for a domed stadium in the suburbs. And I believe that the idea that the Browns and or the Bears and or the Commanders going to domes sounds good right now, but ultimately is going to age extremely poorly. I'll tell you this. I think that today you're going to get the people that say, well, real football is played at neutral sites. Real football is played without the elements. Snow and freezing rain and sleet. These things only neuter great football. And if you really want to watch the best athletes play the best football, you have to have controlled climate. That's why you don't want weather at the Super Bowl. And they'll also tell you, well, you need a roof on something because, you need the Final Four there. Don't you want indoor events as well? Why would you build a stadium just for football? Put a roof over it. Now you can have all of the other events. You know what? You'll never get snowed out. You'll never get, and maybe you can have a Super Bowl because if you're outdoors, you're not going to get one. But indoors with a roof, suddenly Cleveland can have a Super Bowl. And there's all these things you will hear from the people that think about the here and the now. Well, we could get the Final Four in 5 years. We could get the Super Bowl in 10 years. We don't have to sit through the snow next season. But that is not long-term thinking, and I'll tell you why. Let's go back to the early 70s when Three River Stadium opened up in Pittsburgh and Riverfront Stadium opened up in Cincinnati. The Vet opened up in Philadelphia. Busch Stadium opened up in St. Louis. And Atlanta Fulton County Stadium opened up in Atlanta. Shea Stadium opened up in New York. All of these multi-purpose circular stadiums that would swing from a baseball diamond to a football stadium. And the idea in the late 60s and early 70s was, look at multi-purpose. You're saving so much money. Look at this. It's beautiful. Brand new artificial turf. For football, you can seat 75,000 fans. For baseball, if you have a huge game, you could also have 65,000 fans. Wow. You know what? You don't have to spend for two stadiums. Utilitarian. It's set downtown. Everyone, massive parking lots. This is the future. This is great. And what they lost in that transaction was the soul of the old ballparks. And so in Pittsburgh, you lost the soul of Forbes Field. You lost the feel of the old ballparks that had character, that had a personality, that you would then look back and say, man, wasn't that special? And ultimately, when Camden Yards came around, we could see, oh my God, the future is actually the past. To go back to the soul of ballparks was to mean we don't want cookie cutter, multi-purpose, utilitarian, massive parking lot stadiums. That actually doesn't work for us. We want personality and soul. And so those ballparks aged so poorly that they were built in the early 70s. By the late 80s, by the 90s, it was like, oh God, these things are terrible. They're so outdated. Can't wait to blow them up. The King Dome in Seattle, dark, sterile. The Metrodome in Minnesota, dark, sterile, depressing. What is going to end up happening is we're going to start building a bunch of domes we already have to make the climate control the thing, to make the Final Four the thing, to make the upcoming Super Bowl the thing, and that will be so short-lived because what people will want in the future is actually a connection to the past. And they will see the photographs or the NFL Films footage of Jameis Winston dancing in the snow, or the 85 Bears barking in the NFC Championship game as snow falls down. And they will want that because everything else will have become so sterilized in life. AI and computers, the way that we develop architecture. Look at your laptop, your phone. There's no personality there. It's all sleek and uniform. It's minimalist. That will be how we build a lot of things in the future and how life will feel in the future. Sterile, artificial, inauthentic. And sports will give us a connection through video, through feel, through photograph of what it used to be, and people will want that. And I guarantee that when we get 20 years from the opening of a dome in Cleveland or Chicago, people will go, I miss the old days. You might say, well, the Lions never went back and the Vikings never went back. That's true. But there is a longing for what it meant to be outside at Tiger Stadium, what it meant to be outside in a cold weather climate, especially in football. And I think when you start thinking that you're building something for Super Bowls or for Final Fours or for climate control, I think what you're doing is ignoring that so much of sports is about nostalgia. So much is about previous generations. And care and love and passion dates back to those things. And you want people to care? Well, you want them to feel connected to the past. It's a really bad gamble for the Browns and the Bears, the Commanders or whomever, who have had outdoor stadiums before, to believe that the future's indoors. And this is going to sound like, oh, DA is all about throwback jerseys and natural grass. And of course, I feel very strongly about this. In the future, the old days of sports will matter even more. It'll matter so much because so much of the world will have changed to where it feels artificial, and you will desperately care for that. You look at cities now, municipal planning, urban planning. There is now a big push to getting people back into urban centers, live there, walk to cafes, walk to restaurants, live in apartments, build these entertainment areas to live and work in. Truist Park in Atlanta is a great example of this. They built a neighborhood so that you can live, work, play, all in this area. Because suburban sprawl is not for everybody in terms of cul-de-sacs and white picket fences and driving to your Cheesecake Factory, but instead being in a walking area. There are municipalities ripping up interstates that ripped through neighborhoods and made it sterile. In the future, we will want and crave doing things that feel like they used to feel. And sitting outdoors at a football game is always going to be one of those things. Always. Guarantee you. And you pull up this video. Let's see, it's 2025 today. Somewhere in the future, if YouTube is still around, this video will exist in 2050. You tell me how those dome stadiums aged. I guarantee you I'm right. I guarantee you.